Hi, I'm Rhonda with Over the Hill Adventures, and the number one question we get asked on our channel is, how do we plan our trips? I have a video coming to you today that is long awaited for and long overdue. We are gonna plan a trip on Trip Wizard. I'm gonna make a mock trip, but hopefully someday we get to go to Branson, Missouri. We have our home base in Lake Havasu, Arizona, and we go out for a couple big trips every year and a lot of little ones. One place I've always wanted to go is Branson, Missouri. One state we need to get to is Kansas. We need to stay a night in order to mark it off of our list, mark it off of our map that's on the RV. Let's plan a trip through Kansas from Arizona to Branson, Missouri. I'm gonna show you how it's done. First, I'm gonna log in to our RV Trip Wizard. Before we start, you can see here, this tracks all of our trips. We are going to create a trip. We're gonna call this Branson. And it says, do you know what day you're leaving? So let's put this as a fall trip. Let's say we wanna leave on September 15th. Why not? So we're gonna create it. Now it says use my location or select a starting location. So we're just gonna say Lake Havasu, and then we're gonna say start here. First off, what's extremely important is that you put in all your RV information. Along with this planning tool, you can get an app. The app's gonna give you RV safe directions. So all the information you put in here, your weight, your height, length of your trailer, it's going to route you in areas that you're not going to encounter a bridge that's too low, a street that's not wide enough. So it's very important that you put in all this information. You can actually look up your RV. Let's try that. I'm not sure I have done this before, so let's give it a try. We have the 2024. We have a Grand Design. Now, a lot of times the influence is not, hey, look at that, the influence is there. Oh my gosh, there we go. Now, this is probably not going to fill in the correct information, so let's just double check. So it says 12 feet 9 inches. It is not 12 feet 9 inches. We know that it is 13. I just had to check with Stan. We've had a lot of stuff going on with the height of our rig. If you've been following us for any length of time, we bought the new rig a year ago. We couldn't fit it in our RV garage. It was too tall. So we had a viewer reach out and say, how about the low profile air conditioners? It gave us exactly what we needed. It gave us the 2-inch clearance, what we needed, and now we can get it into the RV garage. We are now at 13.3. And our length, now we're 35 is our length complete. Sometimes I'll say 37 because we do have the bike rack on the back. I'm gonna leave it at the 15,000 pounds. I think that's correct. That's what it populated there. So the fuel type, this is important if you wanna use this for fuel warnings. We'll go ahead and we'll put in the information, 36. Let's say we want to fill up at half a tank. We're gonna say 15. And fuel economy, about 10 miles a gallon. Fuel warnings, we'll have it give us 1. Like I said, you can choose to use this or you do not have to. We are carrying propane, so make sure you do check that as well and save. We're gonna continue to go back up to the settings. We're gonna hit trip settings. Okay, we did RV info. Now we wanna do the routing and driving. Click on that. Okay, we're gonna do RV routing. So this really depends on you. We always say avoid tolls, avoid highways, no. Avoid ferries, yes. Avoid tunnels, no. Avoid unpaved roads, yes. And we're gonna talk a little bit more about that a little bit later because we're gonna probably see some warning signs. All right, so driving time estimates, how would you like to calculate your driving time? So if you don't know what something means, just click on the little question mark. It's gonna tell you. We actually have used the use my average driving speed, but I think for kicks and giggles, let's use routing engine estimate, and we're gonna use that this time. Driving radius, this is very interesting, and we can click on both the advanced and we can click on classic. We'll show you how both appear on the screen. So here you're gonna determine your driving radius. So we're gonna do it in hours a day or set the distance, a minimum and a maximum. So average hours a day, how many hours do we want to drive a day? On top of that 4 hours, we're going to be stopping for gas. We're going to do potty stops. So a 4-hour trip always turns into a 5-hour trip. But by putting that 4 hours in there, it's going to give us a radius so we can start looking for RV parks in that. So I have a little leeway. I know we can go a little farther if we need to, or a little less if we need to, depending on where it takes us. So let's hit save. Okay. Now, as you can see, the map has us starting here in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. It's going to make that as our first stop right here. Now over here, I can edit, you can put in your camping total. You're going to be able to track meals totals. You can track miscellaneous totals, fuel costs, total costs, all your reservation information. You could add comments. You know, we could say we want to leave by, let's say we want to leave by 5 a.m. We're going to start with a full tank and fuel costs and how many nights we're going to stay here. Well, we're staying 0 nights here because this is where we're taking off from. So we're going to save that. Now I'm going to pan out and you're going to see with the radius that I'm talking about, our driving radius. Oh, so this is the advanced radius. Like I said, this program does so much and we get used to using it one certain way. So I didn't really know what the advanced radius was. Well, that's it. That's pretty cool. Let's go back here real quick and I'm going to show you what the classic radius looks like and then you can decide which one you like better. So we're going to leave it as the classic radius for now. We're going to go ahead next and we're going to put in our destination. So we're going to put in Branson and then we're going to look for an RV park there and then we're going to kind of determine how many hours in between. We got to figure out, we got to go through Kansas. Certain things I want to do, but I'm going to put my farthest destination in first, our starting destination and our farthest destination. So we're going to put in Branson and it's going to go Branson, Missouri, places of interest right here. We're going to click on that. Now what I'm going to do is up here in this right hand corner there's like a little tent and right now it's off. So if I click on that, you're going to see all the campgrounds populate. So if I want to go into some filters and we want to do certain filters, we can click on park types. You can click on park ratings, park reviews, park features, hookups and connectivity, certain amenities that they have, park pricing, recreation, and brands, clubs, and memberships. I generally don't put in a bunch of filters because I just kind of want to get everything that's there. But let's say you're a 1,000 Trails member or something. So actually you can already go right here and you'll see there are no 1,000 trails in the view that I have. I mean, you could always, you know, come a little bit out, see if anything changes, which it didn't. This is still 0. You can see if there are any KOA parks. We do have a KOA membership. I think we pay like $35 a year for that and it's well worth it. And then you get 10% off each time you stay. Good Sam, we are Good Sam members, so we like to stay at Good Sam. Passport America, oh, they have quite a few, 14. For right now, let's not put any. So what's neat is you can see the little Good Sam icon. You can see the KOA icon. So these are parks that would accept the Good Sam discount. Here is a state park. That's the little icon for state park. We can close this to get it out of the way for now. Let's do that. So we can hover over and click, let's say this Good Sam. It's going to show us, it's called Hideaway Branson. It's going to show us the star rating. You've got 22 reviews. That's what that star rating is based on, those 22 reviews. It's going to show you down here that's pet friendly. They have internet. They have restrooms. They have sewer hookup, big rig friendly. And they have water hookups and electrical hookups. So it shows you all that. So if we want to find out more park details, I click on that. It'll even show us pictures. It tells you there's 50 total sites. It'll give you the elevation. And then features, it tells you all the features. This one is kid friendly. There's a dump station. There's full hookups. So why would you need the dump station? You never know. And there's restrooms, there's laundry. That's a huge one. And then you can go to reviews, and I do like to read the reviews. It's always good to read some of the ones, and why are they giving it 3 stars? If you want to see more, you can read more reviews, and then you can actually see the pictures that people posted, and you can see the reviews that people gave. This is fun when they do this. There's tips for other campers, Silver Dollar City, Downtown Branson, Tanger Outlets. So is this a place? I don't know. Does it sound horrible? It doesn't, but I think what we're gonna do is go back to Trip Wizard and we're going to X out of that one and let's just look around. Something a little bit closer. So this one looks super good. 8.7 stars out of 10, Landing View Campground. We've got another one here, 8.7. So let's see, they're both 8.7. That one's got 288 and this one's got 26 reviews. This one's 7.8, this one's 6, and it's a mobile home and RV park, and it's got 1 review. So that's something I'm not gonna probably waste time even considering. 7.8, Turkey Creek RV Village and Escapees Park. So you can even put in the filters for just escapees campgrounds. So Lakeshore RV Park, 9.1. Now there's only 16 reviews here, but 9.1 is pretty nice. I'm gonna, for kicks and giggles, look here, 8.7, Cooper Creek Resort Campground. Man, this would be a hard one. But let's say we were going for the affiliation with Good Sam and a high rating, then I think I'm gonna look at this one, and 288 reviews. So let's click on park details. It's on Lake Taneycomo. That is very cool. What would be very cool is if you could get a backup site there right on the water. Then what I would do from here normally is go in and I go to the website. This is very different. Okay, so it's Branson Parks and Recreation. So visit our RV park. So then let's click on that. Discover the ultimate Branson experience at Branson Lakeside RV Park. And then we want to go book now. So let's click on that. So because we don't know exactly when we're gonna be there, I most likely at this point won't put in the date. I am gonna just look because we're on the site and figure it's probably gonna take us maybe 5 days to get back there. So let's start looking around the 20th and see if there's any availability. And let's say we want to spend a week in Branson. So we're gonna say the 20th of September to Friday, September 26th, search, and then it's gonna give us the availability. This will say only 3 sites left. This is $99 a night. That's a deluxe patio back in. So if we want to back into the lake right there, $100, 60-foot deluxe patio pull through, 90-foot super sites, and so on. So it looks like there's only 5 left. There's only 14 left. It looks like I would be able to get a spot for sure. Oh look, lakefront pull through right there, $63. Now that's more our budget right there. So $378 total for the week. That is not bad. I'm not gonna book it right now because I don't know exactly our stops along the way, but what we are gonna do, we're gonna go back to Trip Wizard and then we're going to add to our trip. So we're gonna do 7. We're not gonna lock the dates of the stay right now because we don't know exactly when we're gonna be there. We're gonna get the other sites booked, the other campgrounds booked in between Havasu and there. So let's see, add this after and make it the last stop. So for right now, it's the last stop. And I can add any comments in there, and at this point I won't add anything. I will reserve that for once we've made the reservation, and anything I read from other reviews, I say, oh, make sure we do this or make sure we do that. So let's leave that blank for now and add to the trip. So we're gonna go back over here to your trip, bring that back out here by pressing on this bar, and then I can pull out here. Okay, sometimes I like to just turn off all the campgrounds because it convolutes it quite a bit, but that's the trip. Are we gonna go through Kansas? It is not taking us through Kansas. But what we could do is, we do have friends in Topeka, so let's add Topeka to the trip. Let's go ahead and add Topeka real quick. So we're gonna make Topeka actually our ultimate destination, our furthest destination, kind of. Let's see, so Topeka, Kansas right there. Let's say our friends are gonna house us. Maybe we're gonna mooch dock on their property. I don't know what that situation is gonna look like, but we may not need to stay in an RV park. So we're gonna make a custom stop and we're gonna add to the trip. And then we're gonna say number of nights. We're gonna put in 2 nights. We're gonna stay at friends' house. House. And make it the last stop as of right now. We're not gonna lock dates of stay because we don't know the dates and time, but we know 2 nights at least, so we're just building. We're building the trip right now. So save and the custom stop. Okay, so the cool thing is what it does over here, it tells you how many hours. So from Lake Havasu to Branson is 21 hours. We wanna figure out where we're stopping. We're not making a 21-hour drive. We're gonna be stopping in between. We're gonna go back to Lake Havasu here. Now what we're gonna do is use this radius. So we know about a 4-hour drive is gonna stop us about right in Winslow, Arizona. We have not been to Winslow, Arizona. This would be a perfect time. Let's stop in Winslow, Arizona. I'm gonna turn back on the campgrounds. Now look at that. There appears to be a state park right there. If we can stay in a state park, we're gonna do it. So let's go park details. Let's go to the website and let's make sure there is a campsite available, and we're gonna make sure that we fit. September 15th, this would be the first night. And we're just gonna stay one night. Look at that, 21 available. East Loop, West Loop. Now in Arizona, it can be very warm still in September. So before we would make a reservation, we wanna make sure they have electricity or they allow for generators. It's wide open, 20-30 amp water, 20-30 amp water. So if we click on this, it should tell us the amenities over here that we can make sure that yeah, look at that. Pad length is 50, electricity, yes, and water, yes. That's all we need. And feeling pretty confident that they would have a dump station right there. Look at that in the picture right there. Since this is a mock trip, we're not going to make the reservation right now, but what do we do next? We got to make sure we add it to the trip. Pressing that. Number of nights, we're just going to do one night. We are going to lock the dates of the stay. So we're staying on the 15th to the 16th. Comments, we can say need to make reservation. Okay, and then add to your trip. Starting at Lake Havasu, going to Homolovi State Park in Winslow, Arizona. That's a 4-hour drive, which will turn into a 5-hour drive. And then we're down to 17 hours, a little over, to Branson, Missouri. So what I'm gonna do is click over here on Homolovi State Park, continuing on the 40, and it looks like we're gonna stop right around Albuquerque. We are Elks Lodge members, and I'll put all the information in the description. We have access to all the Elks Lodge campgrounds across the US. And they usually charge like 25 to 30 bucks a night and usually have electricity and water. Here in Albuquerque, you can see they have an Elks Lodge. It's an 8.4, there's 13 reviews. We're gonna go look at park details. We're gonna see what the situation would be. I mean, that's doable for a night. That's not bad. We could do that. Real quick, we'll look at some reviews. Although they were really good, they were paying $25 a night. We camped at the lodge. They do have a full park about 30 miles out of town, but this space was easily accessible close to the freeways. So sometimes they do have actual campgrounds, but in this situation, this is just at their lodge, and it can easily accommodate a 45-foot rig. So let's go to add this to our trip. We just want to stay one night. So we're gonna lock the date of the stay, and we're going back to, let's see, we are at the 16th to the 17th now, and I just need to call the lodge. Sometimes you can call them, sometimes they have a website, and we're gonna add it to our trip. So over here you can see the little lock, and once we know what the cost is, actually, which I do, we're gonna edit this to Albuquerque. We're gonna put in camping total is gonna be $25. Okay, save. So for Homolovi State Park, let's edit that one and let's go back, and that's gonna be $40. Now, a good friend of mine, she'll go in and she'll put an emoji and then she'll put a little check mark by there. So let's say that we've paid and we made our reservation and we save it. Then when you look over here, this green check mark will show that you've made the reservation. We gotta edit that, we gotta take that out because we have not done that. Now, like I said, there's a lot of information you can put into these. I kind of use it as simply as possible. I do track the cost of the site, maybe directions that they've given us that are different from Google. Let's look at our trip here. Now, right here, you see a little warning sign. Based on your trip settings, you will begin to tap into your fuel reserve around this point, so be sure to fuel up. Now we have Albuquerque booked, so let's pull out from there and let's find the radius and the next stop. If we go on into Amarillo, we have stayed at that Big Texan before. There you go, 8.7. add a 10. Maybe this time, let's see, there's a KOA right there. Now the KOA would be a little bit off the 40, and for ease, I think we want to just stay as close to the 40 as we can. Let's look over here. That looks pretty nice. The Oasis RV Resort cottages in Amarillo, and Good Sam, Cadillac Ranch, you got a 5. I'm not going to entertain that. So what we could do is go into the filter. We can click on 3 stars. So it's going to give us everything 3 and above. So as you can see, this one has the 4 stars, KOA 4 stars, the Texan 4, almost 4.5 stars. Now if I want to really slim it down, we can go 4 stars and up, and look at that, from 3 to 4. And then it gets really slim if you go to 5 stars. So let's, for kicks and giggles, we're just gonna keep it at 3. We're going to go ahead and, I like this Oasis RV Resort. So let's go park details. Oh man, that looks really nice. It took a minute to load all the pictures. Oh, how fun, look at that. So let's go to the website. Sometimes I build the trip first and then I decide, you know, if it all works out as far as the increments of time, then I'll go back and book it. Let's go back to Trip Wizard. We're going to add this to our trip. We are going to put 1 night. We have spent some time in Amarillo. I think 1 night is plenty, to be honest, but you gotta see Cadillac Ranch. That's something worth seeing. So we're gonna place this right after the Albuquerque Elks Lodge, okay? So make sure you click on that. It's gonna come after that. We're gonna lock the date of stay, and we've gotta make sure that is correct. So it was the 17th and the 18th. Now let's say we try to go back and do the 16th and the 17th and add it. It's gonna tell you this stop would intersect with your existing stop at Albuquerque Elks Lodge. So that's pretty cool. It's got your back. So we got 17 to 18. Okay, and we're gonna add it to our trip. And then every leg is like 4 hours, almost 4 hours, a little over 4 hours. Now we're down to 9.5 hours. We're gonna go to Oasis. Now let's see what let's close that up. Let's see where it tells us to stop. Let's choose to stay here in Oklahoma City for a couple of nights. If you haven't seen the Oklahoma City Memorial, you have to see that. It has been done so well. It was the memorial of the bombing that took place there. You have to walk the grounds. It's amazing. We want to add it to our trip. I'm not going to be too worried about availability at this point. There's a lot of places to stay if not. So we're going to add 2 nights. We're going to lock the nights of our stay. We still need to book the site. And then we're gonna add it to our trip. It has worked itself out where it's telling us we are going to be pulling in on September 20th to Branson, Missouri for 7 nights. So I gotta go back here and edit that. And now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna lock the dates. So the 20th through the 27th. The camping total, we don't know that yet, but if we did, we would plug that in here. Reservation information, we don't have any of that yet. Sometimes I forget when I'm booking if something's a Good Sam, if it gives law enforcement discounts. So this is the place where you would do that. You can put your comments right here or in reservation information. So let's save that. Down here at the bottom right now, it's telling us how many miles we're traveling. It's including the Topeka. This is not coming back yet. And then how many nights. So far it is a 14 night. And so far it's only costing us $65, but I haven't plugged in any of these costs yet, so keep that in mind. So round trip options, let's see what we can do. I don't use this, but RV Trip Wizard will update your trip back to the starting point based on your selection below. So you can mirror stops back to the starting point or direct route back to starting point. So let's go mirror stop. So in that situation, what it did, it went, Topeka, then went back to Branson, Oklahoma, and that kind of stuff. So we do not want to do that. So the only thing I'm not deleting is the last stop back to Lake Havasu. So that's our starting point. And I understand some of you are full-time, but I think a lot of people are part-timers like us or weekend warriors. So let's go to edit. We want to lock this and we want to be home by let's be home by October 4th. How about that? And October 4th. Lock the date. It's locked. And we're going to save it. and let's see what comes up. Now look at that, 5 nights unplanned. So this is the time we want to be home. And if you don't need to be home at that certain time, then so be it. But this is what I wanted to show you, is what it's going to do is go 5 nights unplanned. So we have Monday through Saturday, the 4th, to book. So if we go back up to Topeka, and it'll show us which way it's sending us. Right now it's sending us back down. Topeka's in Kansas, so we're going to be able to check that off. It's sending us back down and heading the same direction. So let's say we want to go to a different direction and we want to stay along the 70. Right now it's telling us in Topeka, we would have to start looking for something here. So let's turn these maps, the campgrounds back on, and perfect. There's a KOA. The state park might be a little bit out of the way just for a one-nighter. What are our options? Oh, Ellis Lakeside Campground. We have Hayes Creekside Resort. Looks like some really, really nice places. We tend to stick with KOAs. This one's got a really nice one, and the journeys are perfect just for what they are. Add to trip, we can just do it more direct. We're going to do 1 night. We just have to remember, if we're going to lock the date of stay, what night it was. So it's the 29th. Go back here, the 29th and 30th. Add to our trip. Okay, so there it is. So Topeka, let's go ahead and lock it. So if I don't lock it when I'm on the big screen, I can lock it right here, lock this trip. And like I said, the locking is just the dates. That's what it is. You're just like, you can easily just unlock it if you want to change something. So let's click here. It's going to take us, we'll pull out a little bit. And there's that radius. So let's say our destination, we would love to stop in Denver and see a little more of Denver. Let's see. All right, so let's just add this Denver East holiday to our trip. Let's do not 22 days, let's do 2 nights, because 2 nights will give you 1 day. And we're gonna put that after our Wahkini. We're gonna add that to our trip. So now from the point of the Denver KOA, let's see where our radius is leading us. It's leading us into Grand Junction. So we're gonna turn back on our campground and let's see what we can find. So here's a state park. I do tend to like to go to state parks. These are the national parks or national forests, like you see right there. These are probably all in the national forest. That's in their state park right there. So let's see what this state park is. It's got 8.1, I see right away, James M. Robb, Colorado River State Park Island Acres section. So I want to look at it a little more. These are some amazing pictures. Why do I have the feeling this one's going to be a first come, first serve? I don't know. Let's go to the website. So you got campground at Fruta, and then you have the campground at Island Acres. What we do need to find out is how big of a rig we can have here. So let's go here. That looks like it's ADA, but there's 3 regular sites for that, full hookup. Let's see the details. It is, the maximum vehicle length is 50. I love this place. Let us know in the comments if you guys have been here. This looks amazing. So Colorado Parks and Wildlife. So this is happening. And when you come across something like that, there was only a couple sites left, you probably want to get that booked up pretty quick. So we're going to go ahead and add that to our trip, and we're going to book it after the Denver. And how many nights do we want to stay there? I mean, gosh, coming home, like I said, it's getting farther and farther. So now, because we can be flexible, I'm going to put 3 nights, not enough space. Well, you know why it's telling me that? It's because we have our home base, our return. We have our return right here. I'm going to unlock that, and that's how we get around that. All right, so let me go back to this. It hasn't given us any fuel warnings because we haven't put in any more information on our stops. On that first one, we put in that we had a full tank of gas, right? So that's how it knows. Now it's assuming we're completely out of gas and we're just in an electric vehicle, but we're not. We're in a diesel. At this stop, are going to have to tell it, we're going to have to put that we added some fuel. Okay, top off. So if you want to be more accurate, you can override this information. Otherwise, it's going to say arrival fuel is about 9 gallons. And then if you want to put top off, like you're going to fill it back up, you're going to add that, and you're going to hit save. And so that way it's going to continue to give us the fuel warnings like this. And then you would have to do the same for the Albuquerque and go in to edit that stop at the Elks Lodge, and then you would have to go in and edit, and then you can say top off and then save. And so it'll give you between that and the next stop, tell you when you need to fuel up. We use the truck lanes at like Love's, so we have our open roads card, and I'm going to put all the information right here. You can scan the QR code, it'll take you right there. Be sure to tell them that Over the Hill Adventure sent you. We have an app, and we use the app, and it'll tell us where they are, and it'll tell us how much a gallon we're saving. All right, so I jumped ahead because I do want to show you this little icon that is giving you a warning sign. It says no route available without an unpaved road. This warning is based on your routing preferences, so we put in there in our trip settings that we didn't want an unpaved road. It says right here that sometimes campground entrances have unpaved roads of their own, which may explain an unexpected unpaved road warning. Let's go down here a little bit. You see icons like, well, this one in Hurricane right here. You can see that a little bit right here. So that is the dispersed camping icon, if that's something you enjoy doing, and I'll show you some pictures. In this situation, let's go ahead and add this. We're going to add that to the trip. We're just going to stay one night. Maybe we can do some mountain biking. We're going to add that after James M. Robb, Colorado. Boom. It's going to lead us right back home. This is our trip in a nutshell, and the stats are, it's going to be a 3-week trip, so we got 21 days. It's gonna be 3,137 miles, and it's gonna cost us $65. No. At this point, what I would do is double check all of the distances, and then I would go back and I would start making my reservations and make the ones that you think might go quickly. So like the state parks are usually ones that'll go quickly. Any national parks will go quickly. If you really love where you're staying and in Branson, at your main destination, then make sure you go ahead and you book that quickly. Let's look up here under map settings real fast. Right now we've checked off, show campgrounds, so that's the same as clicking this up here. And then I also turned off the driving radius, so there's the advanced radius again that we saw earlier. There's the classic radius, and we're going to turn that off. Other map settings, show points of interest. In order to activate the point of interest, you need to zoom in. So you can connect your Harvest Host accounts now. We do have a Harvest Host account. Have not connected it yet. That is very interesting. Maybe we could do that right now. Your Harvest Host account has been connected. That's pretty cool. So another neat feature, which we have not used a lot, I'll be honest, is the area attractions, and I probably should use that. So let's check that out. So I just clicked on amusement parks near Branson. So if you're looking for something to do, Runaway Mountain Coaster, you can find it that way. If you want to find a bakery, it's going to give you the bakeries. Casinos. There are no casinos in Branson. So this is RV Life Pro. I'm going to put the information right here. This is our link. You would be able to get 25% off your first year. You have to be a brand new subscriber to it. You're gonna get 7 days for free, a trial run, so you can try that. You'll get 25% off. It'll auto-populate into your cart, and you will get that off your first year. The first year is $65, so you're gonna get the 25% off of that. I'm telling you, you guys will love this. It has been a game changer for us. Sometimes we run this along with Google. This is pretty accurate. This has led us in the right direction where Google has not at times. Well, I certainly hope that this helped. I know it helped me. I know we have a trip planned to Branson, Missouri in the fall. So whether we're gonna go or not in the fall, we'll see. I haven't booked anything, but I'm actually pretty excited, some of those stops. I would probably do a little bit more digging and make it a little bit longer trip, but it looks like a lot of fun. So I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, I'm happy to help. Please use our code because that helps us out a lot, and we'll get a little bit back from RV Life. Now would be a good time to hit the subscribe button. to hit the like button, which is the thumbs up. If you see a little bell, click the bell, and that just will notify you of our next video. It's your way of saying thank you, and we really appreciate that. If you have friends that also travel, share it with them and help them out too. We're getting ready in the next couple weeks. We're packing up and we are headed to the Florida Keys. We hope you come along with us. All right, God bless. Take care, and I hope to hear from you. Please leave a comment.